is Willie Minix, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about slide techniques on the guitar and the mandolin. Today I am playing in an open C tuning, and so if you want to tune your guitar with mine, you would start with a C. It's a low C. You're tuning way down from that E. And then you follow that with a G. And then C. And then G again. An octave up. And then C again. An octave up. And then finally, you have that E that you end on. So again, it's C, G, C, G, C, E. Now, to play slide blues, which is what I'm teaching today, you basically need to know just a couple things. Your open chord makes a C chord. When you put your slide, or even your finger if you want to, you can fret right across these frets. You can put your finger and fret across the 5th chord, which is, if you see on your guitar, it'll probably be the 2nd dot on most guitars. I usually grip the entire neck with my hand and just hold it down with my pinky to make that F chord. And if you come up to the 3rd dot or the 7th fret, you make a G chord. So you got open is C, 5th fret is your F chord, 7th fret is your G chord. Now if you're going to play blues, you also want to know how to play the 3rd fret, and that's an E flat. And sometimes as a passing chord, you might want to play the 6th fret, and that's a G flat, okay? But I'm mainly going to be using a slide today. Now I have 2 types of slides. I have a brass slide, and what I did in the insert, there's a black insert that I added into mine, and what I took a piece of construction foam and I glued part of the way through until up to about my 1st knuckle or the 2nd knuckle, so that way I can put my pinky into the slide and the craft foam grabs around the 1st part of my pinky, but it leaves an opening enough to where I can bend my other pinky. So it's like that. Some slides actually will fit fairly well, like my glass slide fits right where I want it to, and so I don't need any kind of cushioning inside of it. But they give you 2 different sounds. If you play with a glass slide, it's a real smooth sort of sound. And if you play with a metal slide, it's a little tinnier. So it depends on your taste and what you want. But actually my brass slide, I like the sound of my glass slide better, but my brass slide is really comfortable because it's kind of molded right to my finger. But to make this easy, and across the bottom of the screen I'm going to have some tab that you can follow. But to make this easy, we're going to start off just playing a very simple 12-bar blues. Now 12-bar blues means you have 12 measures and they follow a predictable pattern. That's the blues pattern, okay? So what you're going to have is 4 measures of the C chord, 2 measures of the F chord, which would be up here at the 5th fret, 2 measures of the C chord, 1 measure of the G chord, a measure of the F chord, a measure of the C chord, and then a measure of the G chord. And then it repeats. So this is how it would sound. We're going to give it 4 counts for each measure. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to slide up, put our slide here, and we slide all the way up to the 5th fret. Now, if you're used to playing without a slide, you're just going to stop in the middle. But when you play with a slide, you can't do that. You have to actually put the slide right over top of that fret. So the last measure, or actually I'll just start with a sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Slide. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And then slide back down. 3, 4, 1, 2. Now we're going to slide up to the G, to the F. Now, if you were playing a song, you would just keep repeating that again and again as you played the song. So that's the simplified 12-bar blues. It's very, very easy. But you don't have to leave it at that. You can actually add stuff that makes it sound better. So one of the things that you can do, and I would recommend, if you didn't quite catch that, pause it and kind of practice that until you've got that. And then we'll go on and you can come and catch up with the rest of it and go to this next section. This would be a second variation of the 12-bar blues. And really there are lots of variations on the 12-bar blues. These are not just the only two that are out there. There are several of them, but these are two really common ones. Now, I'm sure you've heard songs that kind of sound like this. Something like that. That's a real common kind of blues sound, and it's achieved by using the 1, 5, and 7th frets, but adding in the 3rd and the 6th fret at certain spots. So on the tab, you're going to see basically when I'm changing to the different places as I play. So you start off, and we're going to take it slow. You start off with 3 beats on the C. So 1, 2, 3, and then you come to the 3rd fret. Or actually, I'm doing the next one. You would actually come from the 5th fret to the 3rd. So it'd go 1, 2, 3, then 5th fret, 3rd fret, open, 2, 3, 5th fret, 3rd fret, open, 2, 3, 5th fret, open, 3rd fret, open, 2, 3, and then one more time, 5th fret, 3rd fret, and then instead of going down to the C, you slide back up to that F on the 5th fret, and then you open it up, slide up to the 3rd fret, up to the 5th fret, and then open, then 5th fret, 3rd fret, open, and then you slide up to the G, which is the 7th fret, then down to the 6th fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, open. So we're going to do that again one time, a little bit faster. C, open. you caught all that. That's a kind of a variation on that easier version. I'm going to show it to you again using the mandolin, because if you loop and you play mandolin as well, or if you're playing a duet like with a guitar player and a mandolin player, you can actually tune your instruments to where they match each other. It's just the mandolin will be a little bit higher, and so you can play them as a duet. So this one, I've tuned it, is very similar to the Dead Man's tuning. If you've been watching my videos on Dead Man's tuning, you may have caught that I've also sometimes used A-D-A-D rather than D-D-A-D. Well, in this one, it's tuned an octave, or not an octave, it's just a couple steps down to G, C, G, C, G, C, G, C, and that gives you a tuning that complements the guitar tuning, the open C. Now it's the same pattern if you want to play the first variation. It's just 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, slide up to the 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, slide, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to slide up to the 6th or 7th fret, down to the 5th fret, and then you would start over. Now for the second variation, it would go like this. 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 1, 2, 5, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then you would go 5, 3, 5. And then you could go open 3, 5. And then 5, 3, open. 5, 3, open. 5, 3, 7, 7, 6, 5, 5, 3, open. Now that gives you the ability to play in the two different instruments. So if you want to loop, you can set the guitar to be your main rhythm, and then you can come back and play lead. Now, to play lead when you're playing slide, it's essentially the same thing. You're going to use these different frets, the open, 3, 5, and 7, but you're going to invent melodies using those notes without playing the whole chord. So you may make up any melody you want using a note that's on the 3, 5, 7, or open. And that'll help you start to come up with your own lead techniques. So here I'm going 7, 5, 3, open, 3, open. So sometimes I'll start off with an open thing like that. 3, open on the next string. 3, open, slide up to the 5, and back down. You'll be able to goof around on your own and come up with all sorts of different tunes that sound bluesy to you, that are going to fit your style more than just copying me and the stuff that I play. I tend to finger pick, even with my mandolin. Most people use a flat pick. And you can pick around on whatever you want. The reason I don't use a finger pick is because my hand cramps when I use a flat pick too much. So experiment and come up with something on your own. And the same holds true for the guitar. So, you know, the only difference is you have a few more notes and strings that you can pick from. One thing I will say about the mandolin that you'll notice when I play through a couple spots, my hand goes down so far and then it gets stuck on the tuning pegs because there's not a lot of room here. On a guitar, you have a little bit more room, so it's easier to slide all the way from the bottom up. But, you know, that's just the two different instruments and their idiosyncrasies. But they work the same when you're playing. Now, if you're going to copy a melody that the mandolin playing in this tuning copies, you got to keep in mind that your last string on the guitar is an E, so it's not going to sound the same. So you have to play as if your next two strings are the same as what the mandolin player's playing. And sometimes too, now that you have that major E, it can make some strange harmonies that don't quite fit in with the bluesy feel. So you kind of got to be careful what you play using that E string. But if you play anything down here, it will match up pretty much with what's being played on the mandolin. So I hope that helps you out. I hope you keep practicing and you become a great musician. And shoot me an email if there's something you want to learn, and I'll try to fit it in and put a video up. God bless you. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.